everybody. Welcome to another episode of Embracing Wisdom with Stacie. That's me. Today, we're going to talk about habits and how habits can set your day up, your week up, your month up, your year, your life up for success, and what having that kind of success does to your mindset, and then how that mindset helps you navigate hard challenges. Habits. My favorite book on habits is The Atomic Habits. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. I think it's a fabulous book. It just kind of put the nail in the coffin for me when it comes to habits. If you watched a few podcasts back about when I lost a whole bunch of weight, it was all about changing my habits. It was the mindlessness in which I was living my life, mindless eating, mindless snacking, mindless lollygagging. And all I had to do was retrain myself for different habits. But there are habits that we have all day, every day, that maybe you're not even realizing is a habit. I don't really think there are bad habits. I think habits can be formed when we get complacent, get comfortable. That's an okay thing sometimes. And then habits can be something that takes us out of that comfort and complacency into something else. So if we want to, for example, we want to have a meditation practice, but we feel like we don't have time for 10, 15 minutes. Well, that's because you probably have a habit in your way that's taking up 10 or 15 minutes of your life, possibly scrolling on the internet. It's a time sucker. So one of the habits that I think is so important when we want to make a change to maybe something that's not really working for our mindset. For example, let's take scrolling. Get up in the morning, first thing I do, grab my phone, I scroll, scroll, scroll. Now, is that a bad habit? Maybe, if what I'm filling my brain with is negativity. Is it a bad habit if I get online and I scroll and I look at ways to make peach jam or ways to garden? I look at how to harvest certain vegetables that I'm unfamiliar harvesting. Is it a bad habit if I'm feeding myself something that brings me joy? Probably not. If I'm watching the news, scrolling things that trigger my anxiety, trigger my fear, trigger my anger, probably a bad habit. Now, when I felt like there was a time in my life that I felt like I didn't have time for strength training, I needed to establish a habit. And so for me, something that helped me establish that habit, which then lended itself to a more confident mindset, was I just simply printed out a schedule. I printed out a calendar and I wrote down what days of the week were the lightest in my workload that I could legitimately plug in a 30-minute workout, not feel like I'm taking away from anything else, and create that foundational habit of working out every day, or 3 times, 5 times a week, whatever I decided. I was doing 5 times a week at that time. And so the accountability for me, and a couple podcasts ago, I know I talk about my strengths all the time, but they really do help you understand yourself. I have a few things factoring into why I thrive in habits and why it brings me steadiness. Is one, I'm a Capricorn. I thrive on productivity. I love working. I love getting things done. I love checklists. I have very strong strengths. In the top 5 strengths of mine are execution. I like to get things done. I like to not have things lingering. If I say I'm going to do it, I will do it, to the point where that number 2 responsibility strength gets in the way of my joy, because if I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it, come hell or high water. I will literally get out of bed and do it if I didn't do it within means. So, and then my third thing that I have factoring going on is I'm a redhead. So maybe, we could also add in I'm a woman, and women tend to get things done. So I have Capricorn, high levels of strengths, of execution. I'm a redhead and I'm a woman. I'm a skilled multitasker. Not sure that's a great thing, but I'm a skilled multitasker. So to develop the habit of working out, I needed a checklist. I needed accountability to myself. If I write it down and say I'm going to do it, I will do it. That works for me. Some people it doesn't work for. They just erase it, or they throw away their list, or they lose their list. Having an accountability partner can be powerful when you need to develop a new habit, when you want to start a strength training program or a meditation practice or a yoga practice, or maybe you want the habit of not reaching for your phone first thing in the morning. So put your phone in a drawer that you're not going to access the night before. And then you get up and you reroute your morning routine so that the habit to get sucked in to the internet is no longer available. What happens when we start to control how our day begins, then the confidence and the mindset that comes after that is pretty powerful. If we don't set our day up by doing things that ground us, bring us joy, help us feel successful, we're going to be scattered. And when we're scattered, we're going to be less productive. We're probably going to overeat. We're probably going to undermove. We'll have low energy. We'll be grumpy. There's a laundry list of things that happen when we don't set ourselves up for a daily regimen that includes habits, not going to label them good or bad, that support you in having the best mindset. If you know that going for a walk first thing in the morning is going to set you up for greatness, then go for a walk. That's the habit that propels you into confidence, into productivity. If you have a habit of oversleeping, sleeping too late, the day's, I say half over at 8 o'clock in the morning, but I get up early. But let's say you have a habit of staying up late and sleeping late. Ask yourself, is this working for me? Am I getting the things done that I want to get done? Am I not having time for self-care, things like exercise, prepping food, because I oversleep? That's probably a habit that then needs to be adjusted. So if you're going to continue to oversleep, that's great, but you better be prepping your meals at night and you better be working out later on in the day. Okay, so a lot of people work out first thing in the morning. That's when I'm my best. If you work out in the afternoon, fine and dandy, sleep till 8, waste half the day. I'm kidding. But you have to see that we've been conditioned to say bad habit, good habit, when in truth, anything that we do repetitively can be either good or bad, right? It's what does that thing do to set you up for stable mind, open heart, joyful heart, productive life. If let's just say that your habit is to stay up late, sleep late, wake up slowly because you can't get the sleepies out of your eyes. And then it's 9, 10, 11 o'clock before you decide to get in the shower. And then you feel like, oh, I better get something done. So I don't have time to work out. I'll do it later. Famous last words. Then you get on the phone with a friend and that sucks an hour of your life. And then you find, oh, I better check my email. And that sucks another hour of your life because it takes 2 seconds to check email, but 58 minutes to scroll. Pretty soon it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon and you haven't done much. Then the internal dialogue starts to say, you haven't done much. Oh, no wonder you're not successful. No wonder you're overweight. No wonder you have no energy. No wonder your bank account sucks. No wonder, no wonder, no wonder. And then the internal dialogue, the mindset that you have sucks. When just tweaking it a tiny bit, sleep late. If that's what you enjoy, sleep late. But then have a regimen when you get up, you go for a walk around the block, or you jump on a bicycle or a treadmill and you get energy in your body, take a cold shower, grab a big espresso, start those habits that are going to interrupt the space between sleeping late and not being anything getting done until 1 o'clock. That's probably not serving you. So I hate to say that all habits should be broken or because I have great habits. I have amazing habits that work really well for me. I also have some bad habits that probably get in the way of my overall joy, my overall, I won't say productivity because I work all the time. Not work, but get stuff done work. Maybe the habit that I lean back into and I lend myself to like feeling good. My habit is being productive. I don't lollygag. I don't watch television. I don't watch movies. I don't read books during the day. I don't eat ice cream during the day. I just forge through. Some people might say, hey, that's not a great habit. I would disagree, but it works for me. So you have to know what works for you. We're not all the same. What works for me may not work for you. Checklists work for me. Having a planner, I still use a planner and I write down what I'm going to do every single day. I'm going to bake bread. I'm going to do laundry. I'm going to do a yoga practice. I'm going to teach. I'm going to clean my studio. I'm going to water the garden. I'm going to make dinner. I write all of it down. And as I complete the task, I put a little dot next to it. So I know that I'm getting done with it. That works for me. That helps me stay grounded. It helps me stay confident in my abilities. It helps me stay centered. And then whatever comes up in my day, I know that I'm getting stuff done and I'm feeling good about it. If I go into a day and I have no idea what I'm doing, I guarantee you I will waste more time scrolling on the internet. I'll waste more time probably texting people. Not that that's a waste of time, but I'm not getting done. And then I feel scattered. Then I feel like, oh, I wasted today. I didn't get enough done. I'm a loser. I still have that talk. I still have it running through me. So my mindset is off when I don't establish things that I know are good for me. Here's my morning routine. I get up at 5 o'clock, sometimes earlier. I have my coffee pot set to brew at 5. So by the time I wash my pretty face, get myself together, go downstairs, the coffee's ready. I grab my coffee and I go and I sit in my recliner because I have the cutest little recliner. I grab my iPad and I set my day up. I look at what am I grateful for today? What is my intention today? I write that down. I look at where I'm going, what houses I'm going to, what tasks I have to do, and then I plug in things that I want to do that bring me joy. Water the garden, work out, practice yoga, clean my studio, clean my office, do laundry, take the dog to the groomer. I write all of that down on the side of my, here's what I have to do, here's what I want to do, and then I plug it in. I make sure that I'm providing myself plenty of things that I want to do in the midst of the things I have to do. Okay, then I drink my coffee, I finish that cup, I go water the garden if it's summertime. If it's wintertime, I will jump on my treadmill. After I water the garden, I go for a walk. After I go for a walk, I usually leave for work. I don't eat breakfast, never been a breakfast person. I make sure that I grab something to eat midday. I'm off and running. That's my morning routine. It changes a little bit seasonally. Winter, gonna look different. My evening has a routine. I come home from work, I water the garden or do something in the garden, hoe it, weed it, pick it, talk to it, love it. I usually have a cocktail. I prepare dinner. I take a shower. I read my book. I go to bed. It's the same. In the winter, I come home from work. I do a jigsaw puzzle or I crochet. I have a cocktail. I make dinner. I take a bath or a shower. I go to bed and I read. That's it. That works for me. It works amazing for me. Your habits may look different. I do throw in a workout in the mornings when I'm able to. And that might change. Like I might do workouts Monday, Wednesday, Friday because I have more time on those days. And I might do a short yoga practice Tuesday, Thursday. I'm accountable to myself and that works for me. If you need accountability partner, pair up with somebody, text a friend every morning and say, hey, I'm about to do my workout. What are you doing? Or do you want to work out with me? And then you set a timer or you do it through FaceTime. Find something that works for you to set your life up so that you have the mindset going into the harder part of your day, which is maybe raising a family or working. And then you have established something that gives you things you want to do as well as things you have to do. I don't think there's bad habits, maybe a bad habit of mine is I twirl my hair when I'm driving. Is it bad? I don't know. Maybe it gives me comfort. Maybe it gives me something to do while I'm driving. Do I have a bad habit of always seeing the good in people? I don't think that's a bad habit. I think that's a great habit. I think it's a great habit. So that's what I have on habits. I think you are in charge of you. If you think that you have something going on in your life that you would determine as something that's getting in the way of your joy or your productivity or your relationships, then it's up to you to change that behavior or habit, putting your phone in a drawer, unplugging the television, getting rid of cable. If you find yourself watching television all the time, get rid of cable. Go to the library, replace that habit with something different. If you overeat, watch my other podcasts about the tips and tricks to losing weight. If you, over exercise, what is it that you're seeking to gain from destroying your body? Been there, totally been there. Maybe that's a podcast. Habits can be good. They can be really good. All you have to do is tweak them so that they are working for you. When they're not working for you, then it becomes a problem. All right, that's what I got for you. Habits on. Go for it. Go find some habits and go find something to make your day great. And I'll see you next time. Take care.